Good afternoon, DHS and community members. We will resume with fifth hour senior exit project presentations. We ask that you keep your phones off and no flash photography. First up is Connor Pollard.
My name's Connor Pollard, as she said. Most of you know me, and if you don't, you're welcome for introducing you to your new favorite person. So, I'm here to present my senior exit project today. So let's start off with a little about me. And the picture on the right there, of course, that's me in the middle. My mom on the right, and then my little brother Lincoln on the left. He's 2 years old. I have a little sister, she's 8 months old, and I have another little brother, he's 6. But it's kind of hard to get 3 little kids in the same picture, so I did the best with what I could. So, my strengths and weaknesses. I would say I'm a pretty hard-working person. I like to push myself. I'm taking 2 AP classes currently, and I have a 3.97 GPA. But my weakness is that I do procrastinate a lot. I tend to get most things turned in on time, and I do good on the things I turn in based on my GPA, but, I can need that little push sometimes. And what I would say is most important to me personally is my family. I always work things to do focusing on my family. So I want to put my mom and my siblings first. I want to be a good role model for my younger siblings since there's such an age gap there. I want to start a legacy for them to follow and make their own path with a little bit of help from me, starting it. Now, where I'm going, I want to help people. As a kid, I always thought blood and more medical things were gross, so I wanted to help people in my own sort of way, and the way I found that was with money. I really like math. I've excelled in math throughout high school, middle school, elementary school. I took geometry in 8th grade, started honors algebra 2 in 9th grade, which is typically a junior class. So I found a field that allowed me to help people and work with math. And I plan on pursuing that at Western, which is my goal to be there in the fall semester. And then in 5 years, my goal is to be working in the field, which that field is financial advising. I want to do personal financial advising. I think that I have what is needed in that field, which is persuasion. I have always excelled at personal selling, at selling what I have to offer to people. So I think it'd be a really good field for me to work in. Now, mainly what they do is sell stocks and bonds and mutual funds and other sort of things to increase their clients' wealth. They are well respected in their field, is what some financial advisors have said. And they mainly work in an office all day, which to some people, they like to be out more. I prefer to sit inside all day. If I can get paid and sit down, that's a double win for me, honestly. Now, the second part of my career. This is what I like to call the fun part, to me, maybe not to you. It's the fun part because it's numbers. Now, the first number up there, $45.27 is the median hourly salary for a financial advisor. That isn't bad. That's about $90,000 a year. And I'm a car guy. I'd like to comfortably drive around in a Porsche, and that's the money to be able to do that. Now, the second number, that's 5%, of course. That is the outlook on the job, which is a bit lower than the average, which is 8%. But to me, that isn't a big deal. As long as it's a positive number, I feel I offer the skills and qualities of this job that even with a lower outlook than average, I think I could easily make it into the field. And then our last number on this slide is what Western is ranked in Michigan for business. So they are 8th out of 80 in Michigan, which is not bad at all. Now, how I'll get there. So, over my course in Davidson Community Schools, I've taken many classes. Now, there's some kids who just like to load up on AP classes to boost their GPA. I preferred to take the classes that taught me what I wanted to do. So, in freshman year, in sophomore year, I took auto because I wanted to be a mechanic. Now, I learned from auto that I don't want to be a mechanic. I just like looking at the cars. And so mainly from that, I moved on to my backup, which was business. So in junior year, I took marketing and I took accounting. I learned that I liked marketing, but marketing didn't interest me. It didn't challenge me. And so then I moved towards accounting. So then in my senior year, I took financial advisory and I took business management. Financial advisory really taught me that I like the personal management. I really liked learning about stocks and how to properly buy and sell to help your customers. That really interested me, so I started pursuing this financial advisory. And the second thing up there is connections. Now, to get anywhere in this world, you need connections to some point. I have gotten really lucky. I actually made connections, and I will be pursuing an internship over the summer for accounting, which I'm very excited about. And you start the connections now, they just build, and hopefully, long time down the road, I can own my own firm. And then education. As I said, I wanted to go to Western. I plan on pursuing a 4 years bachelor degree for finance with a minor in accounting, which is plenty to get me into the field. And that is all I have for today.
Thank you, Connor. Next up is Gabriella Blazin.
Alrighty. Well, I would like to start off that I'm very, very excited to have the opportunity to share with you guys what I want to do for my future. To start off, who am I? I would say that I'm the oldest of a family of 6, and I've lived in Davidson my entire life. My primary traits, I would say I'm a very supportive person. I love cheering my classmates on. I love cheering my friends on. And Miss Neff could probably tell you that in English class, I'm always cheering them on when they're doing their speeches. It's like my favorite thing to do. Another big trait that I have is I'm very friendly. I can talk to pretty much anyone in any situation. I'm very comfortable in any situation that I am in. I would say another trait that I have is I'm very bubbly. I'm very bright. I'm very energetic most of the time. I'm very happy, and I can make everyone around me, for the most part, have a good, happy vibe, and I really take pride in that. My strengths and weaknesses. I would say a big strength of mine is that I can excel when it comes to working with others, whether it be in the workplace or in the classroom. I love being a leader, and I love teamwork. It's my favorite thing. It really gets everyone going, and like I said, I'm very supportive, so I really, really thrive in those environments. I would also say I'm very creative. I love creating and inventing new things. For example, as a child, I took a bag from a justice store and ripped the bottom and made myself a dress out of it, and I think that's my biggest accomplishment I've ever done. I would say a weakness of mine is that I procrastinate. I'm so sorry to my amazing teachers for dealing with that, but I'm trying and I'm getting better at it. And I would say that although I procrastinate a lot, I would say it actually taught me good time management and to be on time with things, and I'm really working on it. And I work the best when I'm under pressure. I would also say another weakness I have is that I tend to overthink a lot. I'm very detail oriented when it comes to big projects, and even if I think it's my best work, it's still probably not my best work, and I definitely overthink when it comes to big projects like that. My motivation, I would say my 2 sources of main motivation, I would say is family and friends and brightening moods. My friends definitely make me feel better about myself. They give me more confidence. That's a picture of 2 of my main friends. It's Rebecca Talaska, I love her, and Elliot Sanford. They really help me. They make me laugh all the time. They make me feel better, and they put more encouragement in me even when I don't feel confident enough to do much. I would say another source is brightening moods. I am very impacted by the way people act around me, and I really like to be the person that can make an impact in someone's life and make people happier, so I definitely think that's another motivation for me to keep going. 3 of my main hobbies. I love music, I love painting, and I love being active. With music, I have just started learning the electric guitar that my dad bought me for Christmas. I also know the ukulele, and I used to play clarinet in middle school. Another hobby I have is painting. I love watercolor, and I took Mr. Kelsey's painting class here, and I've enjoyed it so much. Super relaxing. I love it. It's amazing. I also love being active. I love going to like the malls. I love going everywhere. I love traveling. I've been to Mexico a few times. I've been to Canada, and I absolutely love being on my feet and constantly doing stuff even when I just want to relax. And for one of my short-term goals, I would say that I would just like to get past my first 2 years of Mott and get my, my basic education. And in terms of long-term, I would like to be happy and content with the life choices that I've made and be happy in the career that I've chosen. And for that career, it's psychiatry. According to Zello, a psychiatrist is a medical doctor who specializes in mental health. And some specialties that they have is dealing with depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and even addictions. Excuse me. There are a lot of different pathways for psychiatry. I love that about the field. There's so many different options. You can never run out of options. If one doesn't work out, you just go to the next one. At a day of the life of a psychiatrist, I would say that they are focusing more on therapy, diagnosing their patients, and prescribing medication. They also work in hospitals or their own practice, and I plan on working in my own practice and be my own boss one day. The salary for a psychiatrist, according to Zello, is $50,000 to $300,000, and in Michigan it ranges from $163,000 to $200,000. And the job outlook is 12.5%. And where am I going? I plan on going to Mott for 2 years and then transferring to either Grand Valley State University or CMU, Central Michigan University, and then I plan on going to University of Michigan Med School and to get my medication and my doctorates. Now, the pros and cons. Unfortunately, there are a few cons to this job, but thankfully the positives outweigh the negatives. It is a 50-hour work week. It's very demanding and stressful, and you are often dealing with distressed people. But thankfully, the positives outweigh the negatives in this situation. It's a very rewarding job. You're always on your feet, and like I said earlier, I really enjoy being on my feet and constantly doing things. And like if I stop doing things, I tend to get bored. So I'm happy that this is a job that really meets that demand. Excuse me. And I love helping people at their worst. Like I said, I'm very good at brightening moods, and I would love to just help people, put them on a good path, and make them feel better. And I am glad that I get to make a difference in this world with this career. And yeah, that's it. And thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Next up, we have Avery Metzger.
Okay, my name is Avery Metzger, and I will be presenting my senior exit presentation to you guys today. First, I picked a quote that I thought was fitting because we're all going through change with like college and everything in the next 4 years and the rest of our lives, really. It says, "We can't be afraid of change. You may feel very secure in the pond that you are in, but if you never venture out of it, you will never know that there is such a thing as an ocean, a sea." The main topics that I will be talking about is who I am, where I am going with career research, and how I will get there. The first being who I am and where I am going. As a student, I think my strengths include I'm really dependable with timelines, with like what my teachers give me. I'm always passionate about what I, love and believe in, and then I'm always eager to learn with what my teachers are trying to teach me. But my weaknesses include I always procrastinate with deadlines, and I am an overthinker with my work. My extracurriculars and volunteering include I've been a part of the Davison varsity lacrosse team since my freshman year. I have been a part of Cardinal Ambassadors, where I show new students around and answer any questions that they have. I've been working since my freshman year, and I did Valentine's for Veterans, where I would make cards with the students here at the high school, and then athletic aid, where I would set up athletic events with the staff. And all of these taught me hard work and how to be there for people. My motivations are being happy, reaching a career success, and having the ability to travel in the future. My career pathway would be preferably health sciences and human services. This career suits me because I am compassionate and I have the ability to critically think. My intended major would be biological sciences and minor in psychology. And then my short-term goal would to be attend the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and long-term would be to get the Bachelor of Science degree and become a certified genetic counselor. Next would be the career research aspect. A genetic counselor would be, they help you understand how genes, medical conditions, and birth defects run in families and how they affect your family's overall health. And in order to be successful in this, you have to have social perceptiveness, complex problem solving, and speaking skills. The day in the life of a genetic counselor uses patients' family history to see how it affects them and their children, helps you understand the test results and make decisions, and it varies in specialties with prenatal, which is pregnancy, and then oncology, which is cancer, and pediatrics with children. In the workplace, they typically work in hospitals, clinics, and some at-home settings as well. They work 40 to 45 hours a week, including overtime, and they deal with difficult and distressed people, and it can be emotionally demanding given what you do with the job. The salary and job availability is looking really good for a genetic counselor because the salary range is in between $52,000 and $107,000, and then in the next 10 years it's expected to grow 29%, which is way higher than average jobs. The education required to become a genetic counselor includes a bachelor's degree in science, psychology, or other related areas, which takes 4 years. And then after that, you have to complete a master's program, which takes 2. My plan would be to attend the University of Tennessee for my undergrad, and then there's 43 programs located in the U.S., so I would hopefully get into one of them because they're very competitive. The pros for this job would be that it's very rewarding because you get to work with patients, and you are able to combine healthcare and science without attending medical school, which can be very costly and demanding on a student. I think this career is for me because I have strong social skills and I can think very critically. But the cons for this job is that there's high emotions that could cause stress and sadness for the worker, and it's an extremely competitive field given that it's a very new field of medicine. How I will get there. I have used my honors biology and psychology class to figure out that I love learning about genetics and helping people. And then at GCI, I took a medical career foundations class that also helped me realize that I want to go into the medical field to some extent. And then to work on all of these things, I will continue to work and coach children. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Avery. Next we have Isaiah Yasbik.
How we doing? Okay, so my name's Isaiah Yasbik, and this is my senior exit project. First, who am I? Well, I'm Isaiah, but what I like to do is I love hanging out with my friends, spend time with my family, and doing anything outside, like sports or anything, landscaping, whatever. And that's what I like to do. But some of my strengths. So through my life, I've met a lot of people, and it's made me realize how much treating other people is important and how well you treat other people builds who you are yourself. So I try to be kind to everyone I meet and show that I care about them, and hopefully they'll care about me. I'd like to say I'm very hardworking. If I start something, I know I'm gonna finish it, and I'm gonna do it well to the best of my ability. I'm very approachable, not very scary. Love talking to everyone and anyone. I also have a strong moral compass. I like doing the right thing, most of the time at least. But with that comes a lot of weaknesses, which one of them being school. I don't like school. I'm been told I'm very stubborn, which can be a good thing sometimes, and procrastination. I'm really bad with homework, but I get it done eventually. for my motivation, my main motivation is my family. They push me to do everything I do. They've been with me the whole ride, and I have no one else to thank except them. Also my friends. My friends don't really push me anywhere, but they keep me going. They keep me happy, and that's the most important thing. And then myself, I think being self-driven is honestly one of the most important things, because if you can't get it done yourself, you're not going to finish. And I'm very competitive, so I think that helps. Also, my future family, I want to do everything for like my kids or my future wife. I think that's my biggest driving factor. And then money. Everyone's driven by money. For schooling, after the summer, I'll be attending Lansing Community College with the hopes of transferring to MSU. My goals are to keep a high GPA and make up for my lackluster GPA in high school, to say the least. For my job, I will need to get a bachelor's degree and take a couple fundamental exams, which I'll talk about in a second. I want to be an industrial engineer. This comes with a lot of challenges, but I've had multiple prior work experiences, including being a salesman for a ski and snowboard shop called Shoemakers. I worked at Taco Bell. It's awful. Don't recommend it. I also got some outside experience with working at a golf course in Davison and helping my family with landscaping. But about industrial engineering. To be an industrial engineer, you need your fundamental engineering exam, which I've heard is very hard. It takes about 30 hours of practice or studying to be ready for. The starting salary for an industrial engineer is $50,000 to $70,000, depending on where you are and what you're doing. It's a $93,000 median for most people once they get through the first 4 years of your practice under a certified engineer. And then the senior salary is well over $100,000, which sounds good to me. Requirements. Like I said, you need the fundamental of engineering exam, which is very hard. You need 4 years under a registered engineer, like job shadowing but paid, pretty much. And then you need a bachelor's degree from an ABET accredited school. And then why engineering? Engineering can get to be really creative. You get to make solutions to everyone else's problems. And with furthering technology and everything, everyone's jobs being taken by robots, I'm going to be the one making the robots taking your jobs, so I won't have to worry about it. I also love that it's going to be a flexible work schedule. I really enjoy my free time, and I need free time if I'm going to get anything done. So being able to work when I want is very important to me. Also, it's a steady career, and I'll have a steady future, making a good amount of money, being able to provide for what's most important to me, which is my family. And also, I'll make a difference. If I can hopefully work under myself eventually and do my own thing, make a lot of money doing that, but create something that really changes people's lives and makes an impact in the world that lasts longer than my life. Also, being able to work from home. That's great. All you need is a computer. And that's my senior exit project.
Next up, we have Emma Hawley.
Hello, my name's Emma Hawley, and I will be presenting my senior exit project today. I will be talking about who am I, where am I going, my career research, and how I will get there. Who am I and where am I going? I pride myself on the various traits I have both learned and acquired to help me become a good student, athlete, and citizen. Some of the personality traits I take pride in include being a hardworking, compassionate, and responsible person. I'm accountable for my actions and work. I have compassion for others and responsible for my leadership roles on my team and my work. I'm active both in and out of school. I'm a part of the National Honor Society, Student Council, Cardinal Ambassadors, and Key Club. Being a part of these clubs has allowed me to have memorable volunteering experiences, such as writing letters to police officers and participating at the local food bank. This allowed me to realize each job's dedication and commitment to any position or any field of work. I was on the Davison varsity bowling team for 3 years and on junior varsity for 1. I have been co-captain on the varsity team for 2 years. I applied my social skills, commitment, and dedication to volunteering and bowling. As a leader, I had to show responsibility for my actions and work hard to achieve our goals and my team's goals. I am proud of my accomplishments while here at Davison High School. I am a 4-year honors student, earning my academic letter, academic pin, and citizenship. Along with my academic achievements, I have received my varsity letter and numbers. We have also, as a team, were conference championships for 2021 and 2022, and state runner-ups for 2022. Where am I going? Since I was a child, I was always very compassionate about helping people. My compassion and enjoyment for helping others has guided me to pursue a career in the medical field, like an orthopedic surgeon. My short-term goal is to attend Upper Iowa University in the fall of 2022 and major in biology. Once I graduate from UIU, I will take the MCAT test and apply to medical school. My future career. I'll be just talking about the job description, training requirements, salary, the pros and cons of the job. As an orthopedic surgeon, you will have to work on the musculoskeletal system. That includes bones, muscles, nerves, tendons. Their job is to fix injuries such as fractures or replacing hips. Many orthopedic surgeons will work in hospitals or clinics or medical offices. In addition, they will have to work in examination rooms, operating rooms, and offices. Orthopedic surgeons must be able to talk to patients, explain treatment programs, and diagnose patients. The estimated salary in Michigan for an orthopedic surgeon is roughly $350,000, and there's a growing demand for orthopedic surgeons in the United States. Each orthopedic surgeon must go through 4 years of undergrad school at any institution for a pre-medical degree, a biology degree, or any science health-related degree. After finishing the 4 years, you must take an MCAT test to apply for admission to a medical school. After the 4 years of medical school, it is required that you must apply to a residency program at a major medical institution. Finally, after completing 13 years of schooling, you must complete a board certification and at least a 1 to 2 year specialized fellowship for your field of choice. Each year following your fellowship, an orthopedic surgeon must continue their certification to update their knowledge and skills. Pros and cons of the job. Each job has its pros and cons. Being an orthopedic surgeon has the benefits of helping all types of people, and helping others is something that I've always liked to do. In addition to helping others, orthopedic surgeons allow for many employment opportunities in places all around the country. However, some of the cons of the job are that you have to work long hours and on the weekends. In addition to that, you are on call most of the time, no matter if you're working or not, for any emergency surgeries or incidents. Lastly, schooling is very expensive, so one can quickly accumulate debt throughout the time that you're learning. How will I get there? As previously stated, I was a part of NHS, Student Council, Cardinal Ambassadors, and Key Club. Each of these organizations have helped me prepare for college. In addition to being part of these organizations, I have taken many classes related to the health science fields, such as biology, chemistry, and anatomy. I have also taken honors math classes to help me in college, and I've also taken advanced placement courses to further my college. The classes and activities I have completed have prepared me for college and established a foundation to obtain my goal of becoming an orthopedic surgeon. 4 years from now, I would like to have graduated from Upper Iowa and have a degree in pre-professional biology, take the MCAT test, and go to medical school to become an orthopedic surgeon. Thank you.
Last but not least, we have Lauren Henry.
All right, hi everybody, I'm Lauren Henry, and this is my senior exit presentation. So I wanted to start us off with a quote, and the quote I chose was, "The best way to predict your future is to create it," by Abraham Lincoln. And I thought that this was a good quote because we can never predict what's going to happen in our future unless we take the steps we need to create the future that we want. So the three things I'm going to be talking about is who I am, where I'm going, and how I will get there. So a little bit about me is I've been playing soccer for 13 years. I play travel and for the school. It's always been a sport that I love because it's very team-oriented and everyone has to work together in order to win. Another sport I played was volleyball. I also played this travel and for school. This sport's really fun because you get to travel all around the country with your friends, and I loved being active, so sports were the way I could do that while being with my friends. Some of my accomplishments are that I was a DECA state champion this year, and we qualified for nationals. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go, but that also was really fun, and it's something that I'm really interested in. I love marketing. I was in marketing for 2 years, and I really enjoy it. I was the captain of my travel volleyball teams, so my leadership really showed. I also am in NHS, and I was all academic for soccer and volleyball. Some things that motivate me are definitely my family. My parents are both teachers, so they definitely push school on me a lot, but I would say it really helps me to get myself in the zone and always excel in school. Another thing that motivates me is definitely myself. I'm very hard on myself. I like to be the best I can be, which is a good thing because it pushes me to always work harder. And my teammates and my friends, they also are a good motivation for me. Okay, so some words I used to describe myself were outgoing, dedicated, resilient, optimism, creativity, and leadership. So I would use these words because I definitely am very outgoing. If you know me, I love to have a good time, laugh, and always have a smile on my face. I'm very dedicated. When I like something, I definitely stick to it. I'm resilient. I have had some hardships in my life, including I tore my ACL, which I'll talk about that more, but that definitely was a hardship, but I definitely bounced back and it made me even stronger. Optimism, always having a smile on my face, positivity. Nobody likes being around someone who is always negative, so I like to pride myself in always having a smile on my face. Creativity, I love to paint also. I love to do creative things. I like doing projects. I'm very like in the classroom, I like doing projects so I can show my creativity. And leadership, I like to be a leader for people around me. Some of my strengths is that you can always count on me. I'm very responsible and dependable. If you ever need someone to talk to, get advice to, I'm always here for you. And some of my weaknesses are definitely self-criticism and overthinking. As a student, I definitely am the one who takes the most time on their tests and is overthinking, but it also helps me so that I can go back and check all my answers, so it can be a positive and a negative. So this is where I'm going. So I have 2 pathways that I could potentially be going into. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about 2 careers today. One of the pathways is athletic science, so more like a sports trainer. And I would be working as either a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. And another field is creative advertising. This is more graphic design or social media marketing for big companies. Both of these career fields interest me, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about both. So athletic training. So the reasons why this field would be good for me is obviously, like I said, I tore my ACL last year, and I had to go through lots of processes of going to physical therapy, working with Kyle, seeing the trainer a lot, going and having surgery done. So I know how it is for people, and I think that'd be really rewarding to help other people just the way that I was helped. I also love sports. I love going to sporting events, and athletic trainers have to go to practices and games, so being around sports would be a very good thing for me. I also have a caring heart and will to help others, so helping others and seeing them go from being injured like I was to getting back on the field would be very rewarding for me. A little bit about athletic trainers is that they work with coaches and athletes, and they work to rehabilitate and recondition players. They prevent injuries and help provide safe practice and game conditions. The education that they need is a bachelor's degree for some of them, and they have to get a state license. They also have to work in like a certain amount of clinical hours, so I'd have to be working for free a lot, which is a downside, but it also helps you get more knowledge on the job. The salary median is about $51,000 in Michigan, and the range is $53,000 to $61,000 a year. Another field that I would go into is a creative advertiser. The reason why I think this field would be good for me is because I have a passion for marketing and I love interacting with people and I'm creative. The one job that I was thinking about is a social media marketer. The job responsibilities include developing social media marketing strategies, and the education I would need is a bachelor's degree. The salary median is about $133,000, and the outlook is going up 10% in the next 10 years. Some of my short-term goals are to maintain my GPA and graduate high school, and move into Michigan State in August and begin the next steps in my future. Some of my long-term goals are that I will graduate from MSU with a good GPA, and I will get into a job that I have a love and passion for. How will I get there? I will be attending MSU in the fall to study creative advertising for now, but I'm also going to take some prereqs that could go into athletic science if I ended up changing my major. The timeline is that this year I'm going to finish high school, tie honors, and then the next 4 years go to MSU, graduate with the pathway I choose. 5 years, start looking for a position in my pathway that I'm passionate about, and in 10 years I'll be happily working and loving what I do. Some habits I'm going to continue are being responsible, making sure I'm getting my work done, being dedicated, turning in my best work, being attentive, listening to my professors, and actually learning what they're teaching me, and applying myself. And the quote I'm choosing to end on is, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin." Thank you.
This concludes our senior extra projects for 5th hour, and we will be back here during 6th hour. Thank you.